Welcome again to Wish It Was Homestead. Well, we're out here in the chicken coop and the tomato garden. And one thing you might notice is there's no fence. Tomatoes are dead. And to keep the weeds down, what we did was open this up to the chickens. They'll keep it pretty clean in here. They won't go after the yucca. They won't go after the plants in the ground, but they should go after the vines, like this one. These things are invasive, but that's a yame, not a yucca. Chickens will eat that up, and whenever I see the vines, I try and pull them out. I don't want yame growing in here. It's just invasive. I mean, it's a good tasting root, but there might be a big one under here. I might have come back with a shovel and dig that out. But we opened all this up to them. Keeps the weeds down. They're already starting to dig over here. Over on the other side we have watermelon. And that's doing really well. The chickens won't be in there. Don't want them eating up all the watermelon. It's got a small one on it. Volunteer corn over there. Still got weeds over here. It's okay. It's got to sneak around this fence. Hopefully without falling on my butt. They got the unsellable produce. Yesterday it was dropped in here. That unsellable produce is fertilizer. Butt fertilizer. Get out of the chicken coop. Hey, no escapees. I'm pulling some of the grass weeds. Someplace on it, right there. Right there is a little watermelon. Even got lettuce growing. It's bitter, but it's growing. Up potted the banana, blue Java, ice cream banana. Up potted the carambola and the mulberry. Yucca growing along here. Yucca. Dinner last night was chicken we raised, processed. So we had baked chicken last night. We had yucca from this garden. We had green beans from over there. And with tomato sauce from over there when it was all growing. Peppers are doing really well. I didn't see this one before. Look at that bell. California Wonder. Some more in here. Got some red cherries, large cherries. They're hot. More bells over there. Move the lemon tree over here. These peppers are doing well. Not sure what fertilizer these need. I'll probably go get some organic spray on, see if that helps any. My first attempt at dragon fruit. Another large cherry there. We'll start picking them. More bells. That Tomatillo has a tomatillo on it. Brought the parsley under here. That sprung back really well. That'll go in my spaghetti sauce. Yeah, I think you can see it right there. Let's see. Tomatillo right there. I think a bug got to it though. It's doing pretty well. We've pretty much decided that come next season, that area over there is going to become a salad garden. We could start selling. Cherokee purple got maters on it, but season's over for them. This will have to be weeded out. We are feeding this broccoli plant to the chickens as we think about it. Last time I showed you the eggplant, I think it only had the flowers. Now it has eggplant. Planted more okra down where the first row of tomatoes was. Okra here. Only 3 plants left, but it's right over there. I'm going to start another garden. These boxes will be used for under the wood chips and horse manure. Since it's lettuce, it'll take a lot of nitrogen. We can use horse manure on it without a problem, and it'll love it. Chickens are liking this new area. They're not very smart though. I only had a little opening here. Some of them got in, most of them didn't. I have to work on devising a watering system for in here. These are all drip tubing, but I don't want to run off the well directly, so I'll devise something for that. Tank with a pump. It's been raining pretty good. The beans are pretty much done. Had to cut the grass yesterday. I got to get in here and take all this weeds out. The chickens will love it, so they'll get that. There won't be a lot in this area because of the peppers and stuff, but not much in here. The wood chips do keep the weeds down. We didn't go all the way over here with them. Sunflowers these are the new ones. Squirrel ate the top off. That'll be fertilizer, the corn husks. Corn stalks will be fertilizer. Just drop them. This mango's got some really nice new growth on it. That's from a seed, so I don't know what that's going to be, but we'll see. Grapes, any grapes? I don't see any. Birds might have gotten what little bit was on there. Fig tree. Look at all these figs. Loaded. Birds will wind up getting those too. Metropolis. There's your gratuitous Metropolis shot. I watch a lot of YouTube channels. Watch a lot of gardening and cars. One YouTuber on gardening is talking about corn. You can't grow it organically. You got to fertilize it every 2 weeks. You got to use synthetic fertilizers. We call them chemical fertilizers, but you know what I mean. Everything is a chemical. Water's a chemical. talking about chemical fertilizers, we're talking about synthesized fertilizers. Not horse manure, not cow manure. Synthesized fertilizers made from petrochemicals. I don't use them. But he was saying the 4 things that he did that made him let him grow his corn. Now me, I'm a firm believer in you got to block plant them. If I got to come out here and do a lot of work like hand pollinating, I'm not going to do it. Out of the 100 stalks I put down, we got, let's see, what do we get? 80 ears that were good, edible. 75 of them had full kernels. Remember, corn, every silk leads to a kernel. Every one of them has to be pollinated. If they don't, you have holes, you have open spots. Now, some of the corn ears got eaten by caterpillars, because even though I started spraying in the beginning, I didn't finish it. And they got some of them, you know, some of them, and I showed you. There was some of them that got the top, we ate the bottom. A little for the caterpillar, a little for us. It's fine. As long as I'm not eating the caterpillar, I'm fine with that. Anyway, he was saying you can't grow it organically. You can't? I pulled out 75 ears out of there. Organic, just horse manure. Twice. Once I put horse manure in the beginning, and I put it when I hilled them up. And they did fine. Well, then he say, well, he's talking about the super sweets. Yeah, I've done that too. Organically. It can be done. How do I know? Because I've done it. Did it 25 years ago. And I did it this year. Did it a few years in between when I felt like I was growing corn. The whole reason, the whole success for it is you need a lot of water. You got a lot of nitrogen. You can do it organically. I've proven that. And yet they're on the YouTube and they're telling you you can't do it organically. Well, you got to use the right plant, the right variety for your area. Sure, I can grow an apple tree in Florida. I will never get fruit. I can grow the tree probably, but it'll never have fruit. Why? Because Florida doesn't have the chilling hours that an apple tree requires. So I'll never get fruit off of it, but I could probably grow the tree itself. Right now, today is a beautiful day. It's about 85. This week has been beautiful. In the 80s, not in the 90s like it has been. Just not getting any rain yet, so we water. But, you know, corn, you grow corn in the right time of year, you grow the right variety for your area, and you should have corn. You should have good corn. I don't believe in you should be out there hand pollinating all of it, unless you're going to grow, 12 plants. If you're going to go 12 plants, then why bother? Go to the store and buy it. If you're going to put a lot of chemicals on your corn, why are you growing it? Go buy it. You can go buy 5 ears for $2, 69 cents an ear some places. Why you even bother growing it? Last night's dinner, like I said, we had the baked chicken, we had green beans, we had the yucca, we had the tomatoes with the green beans, we had corn. The only thing that wasn't from the garden was the bread. That was local, grown out by the Gulf of Mexico there, bakery there, and I bought it at an Italian place here. But yeah, you can feed yourself from your garden. You can grow your own chickens, get your own eggs. Tonight's egg chicken parmesan, but the chicken's not one I grew. Got the chicken tractor, moved it down over here when I mowed yesterday. I missed some spots. The fencing was over. Fencing was there. Moved it after I mowed. Chicken tractor works great. It's just a little heavy. but it does 25 birds really well. Probably do more, but I don't want to. So it's back in winter, summer storage. Back here. November we'll start it up again, do another 25. But yeah, if you're going to grow, you want to do it organically, grow the right variety for your area. Grow it at the right time. The right time is important. Right now, without the shade cloth, even the peppers would be gone. It's not the right time. Eggplant will last through the summer, and it's in a shaded area over there. I had one eggplant that was here for 3 or 4 years, and the freeze killed it. But we got eggplant off of it. Tomatoes. I wouldn't start tomatoes now, but if you had cherry tomatoes growing, they'll take the heat. Everglades tomatoes will take the heat. Seminole pumpkins will take the heat. Sweet potatoes. Watermelon, but you had to start them a little bit earlier, like we did. Yucca will take the heat. Although those you should have had planted in March. There's a lot of stuff that'll take the heat. But if you want to plant wrong, like we're at the northern end for mango, that means on a small tree, I've got to go out in the wintertime. And if we're going to get a freeze, I have to protect it. I have to put heat lamps under it. That I'm willing to do. But I'm not going to go out there and hand pollinate corn. I can go buy it in the store a lot cheaper. And it tastes good. Just got chemicals on it and realize it. That it's got chemicals. The lettuce we pulled out of here over the winter had no chemicals. All it had was horse manure. Composted horse manure that was been there for a couple years, so I'm not too worried about it. And I know what my neighbors feed the horses. And there's no graze on in it, which is a good thing. But you know, you can grow almost anything organically. We grew roses organically. We used to import roses. We had a bunch of them. What killed them out was the flood. The house flooded 3 times. It took them out. But we grew them. Mango, since I'm up at the top end of the zone. I'm in zone 9B. And it can get too cold for them. Last year it did. It got cold, but protected them. And the year before, protected them. That one night, kept it inside there, 57 degrees. Look at all the flowers on them peppers. Tomatillos, should be getting even more of those. Remember, tomatillos, you got to have 2 plants. We'll start working on getting rid of the grass, the weeds in here. The chickens love this right here. Chickens love that stuff. If it wasn't for those eggplant, I might let them in there. I'm going to try and finish up the coop, get them into the chicken coop. I got to move this fence here and have access to the outside for the coop, the new coop. See what happens there. I don't have much to do on it. I've got to extend the front of the roof 2 feet, back 1 foot. Or actually the front I think has to go 3 foot, the back 1 foot. So I have to build the rafters for that. Right over here is where I'm looking at putting a lettuce garden in. I'll leave that stump. I don't care about it. But probably do this corner. Start with those bananas over there and come all the way over to that post. Maybe there where the water is. We'll see. Come over here with the box scraper and get rid of the grass, and then put cardboard and wood chips, horse manure, mix it all up. Nice and shady back here. All these leaves are great fertilizer. Compost pile. A lot of camphor. This used to be an old compost pile here. Papaya growing out of it. Loquat. Another loquat there that's looking for the sun. You have to trim that branch off of that coop on top. This fig tree is getting huge. Cleaned out a little of the bottom, not much, but a little bit. Got figs. Bunch of figs. Might have a nice crop this year of figs. There's a fig tree over here. I just don't have time to get in here and clean it. Another fig right there. Back there. Citrus over there. Not sure what that one was. Peach tree we planted when my father-in-law passed away. Persimmon, I believe. Avocado. I think. Oh. Bunch of weeds, but guava. Guava back there. That's guava there. Papaya that froze back, it's coming back. Need to get more wood chips in here and get rid of all these weeds in here too. For that, I just take the tractor and throw them on top and kill them out. Wife planted a cactus over where this old grapefruit tree used to be. Yeah, citrus is a dying industry in Florida. Between canker and greening, that vine there climbing up, that's the yame vine. Man, they just take over. Need to get rid of them all. Maybe dig up around them and see if there's any root below it. But they're all over. Used to be able to cut through there. I think I need to trim that branch back. That's right at eye height for me. Use my eyeball. This side doesn't get much attention really. Well, guys, I hope you decide to grow for yourself. I've shown you in the past how you can grow in buckets, cheap raised beds from Amazon, how you can grow in the ground, and how you can do it organically. I don't have the room. You don't need a whole lot of room. You need enough for a bucket. You don't have to grow it organically like I do. Get some Miracle-Gro. Get a bag of Miracle-Gro, cut 3 or 4 slits in the bottom for drainage, and plant your plants in the top of the bag. You don't even need a container. But you can grow something. In the wintertime, throw some lettuce into it. Throw broccoli into it. A cabbage. You saw the cabbage we got out of this yard. We got, what, 3.5 pounds. 6 or 7 was the largest one. We got 6 of them. Broccoli. Arcadia will take the heat better. That's what I grew. That's the one I think that's right there still. Now it's going, but it's 90 degrees all the time except this week. Those boxes, that's the underlayment for the new garden. Maybe for over here. Plant veggies, plant fruits, plant flowers. Next season, come August, I'll start my seeds again. Take you along for that. You know, this year I was fortunate. My timing on everything was perfect. Well, except for the cucumbers. Beans are going. I'm okay with that. I'm kind of beaned out. I've got 5 jars canned. So I have 5 jars, and that's fine for now. We don't need a whole lot of pole beans. Not unless they're fresh or from our garden. I don't go buying them. The only thing I didn't get really good was cucumbers. Tons of lettuce we pulled out of here. I gave away a bunch of tomatoes. Canned 8 quarts of juice. Tomato puree. Froze probably 8 quarts. 300 pounds of tomatoes out of here. So I know you can do it. You don't have to do 300 pounds. You can do 1 plant. Get Celebrity. It's a determinate vine. It'll only grow so high it'll have its fruit. And then it's done once it ripens. You don't have to have all the cherry tomatoes like we do. And those will grow 7, 8, 10 feet tall. You don't need that. Even the beans, you can grow a couple plants of beans, the bush beans, not the vines. The bush beans were over in this area here where the weeds are now. But you can grow those and get some fresh beans. Like I said, you don't even have to grow them in the ground. You grow okra if you like okra, and that's growing now, summertime, loves the heat. Put that in a pot. It has a flower like a hibiscus. Even if you're an HOA, it's got a beautiful flower. You can get away with it. Chickens are still laying tons of eggs.